All right, and we are back with another episode of 3Person Circle, where we take three people and we put them in a circle. It's been too long, but we are back. I'm here with my co-host Dax, and today we have a special guest, one of our sportscasters and friend of the show, Gabe.
Hey.
Yeah, Dax, how you doing?
Are you sure these mics are working now?
I'm pretty confident. I mean, they do look like they're working, yes.
There's a light on.
Everything's looking good. So I guess today it's just kind of a daddy weekend where I'm taking care of the baby, so we thought it'd be a perfect time to have a chill podcast. Gabe, welcome to 3Person Circle. How are you doing?
Good. It's good to be here.
Is this the first time you've been on this that's not sports?
It is. I'm usually a little shy from the mic, so I don't prefer it. But
so who do you think is going to win the Stanley Cup this year?
Oh, now I'm back in my comfort zone.
I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
No, it's good to be here, finally. Good to be with you guys and chilling on a Friday night. And
okay, I just want to kick off the pod today, Gabe. I'm going to say we're going to kind of focus around you, but it's definitely, we got just things going on that we're going to chill and talk about. But Gabe, I want to know what excites you just in life right now, like anything new and exciting going on. Sorry, not what excites you, but is there anything new and exciting in your life you've been...
Excites you?
What excites you? What turns you on?
Just getting into my badminton coaching role the past month. It's been really cool. I mean, I've talked to you guys offline here, but it's a really rewarding experience so far and challenging for the first, it's been 3 weeks now, we're on spring break, so.
Yeah, so do you want to just for the viewers, what exactly has happened with your badminton there?
Yeah, reconnected with some old teachers at STA last year, and one thing led to another, and now I'm coaching with another teacher at STA for the junior team, and helping out with the senior team.
Did you play badminton growing up?
Yeah.
For how long?
Started grade 7 until grade 11 or 12, but yeah, definitely practiced and got coached for 3-4 times a week for 3-4 hours.
You played through high school?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Like what was the extent of
trophies?
Oh, crazy.
I wouldn't go that.
What was the extent of your badminton?
I remember you had a trophy.
Yeah, 3rd, 4th place, but.
Well, it's a trophy.
Your practices, you would have, how often would you play the game?
I would probably 4 or 5 provincial tournaments a year, and then 1 nationals I did twice.
Whoa. So you played quite high level.
I tried. There's no, generally there's no qualification. You don't have to get certain points to get to certain tournaments. I just had the privilege.
So could I have, obviously not now because I'm an adult, but I could have just out of nowhere shown up in a national tournament?
Yeah, you just have to be with a club, and then you just
Did you continue to play after high school?
Yeah, actually in Switzerland, I was just sharing a photo with Lisa Yamaguchi, because it popped up on our feed. We used to play in Switzerland every Sunday morning. They just bring us down to some badminton courts, and we play with some, just a bunch of kids who want to play badminton.
Badminton is an intense sport. The pacing of it is do, 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 do. It's not, I know tennis is crazy. I don't want to take away from it, but tennis is a lot of it's boom, run across the court, boom, back and forth. That's just straight up tap, 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 tap. How long is a usual round or one service?
Rally.
There you go. This guy's good. Do you play badminton?
I watch a lot of tennis.
Yeah, 15 seconds to can be upwards of a minute or two. I've seen some crazy rallies at the Olympics. It's insane seeing how fast they go.
Did you play, so after you left Switzerland for, I don't know, just hanging out and doing it casually, did you play here too? Or are you continuing to play here?
No, I stopped. I stopped after, maybe grade 11.
Oh, really?
Yeah, around grade 11.
No, but I just mean
after
casually.
University, nothing really.
Really?
I just picked it up within the last...
No drop-ins or anything?
No.
Well, you've done pickleball for a year now, or over a year, right?
2 years.
Yeah, I mean, is pickleball a good, if you're playing pickleball, are you able to play badminton better, or is there any crossover in them?
I'd say so.
Yeah?
I'd say so. I always say pickleball is a really cool sport because everyone from a different background has so many different styles that bring their own style to the table. And
Right.
it's, I find squash players are better at slicing and spin. Tennis
Okay.
players have great form. Badminton players like myself have, good precision, so we can place it at the back corners where tennis players are more hitting hard and trying to get.
Cool. That's interesting.
It's a melting pot. It's really cool.
Well, I feel like pickleball is just a very accessible sport as a racket sport. Like you get into it, you don't even have to be good, and you feel like you're good at pickleball.
It's an accessible sport, but it gets really pricey right away.
What? Really?
How?
One standard racket or paddle, is like $200-300.
Like
Wait, what?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
How much is your racket?
Mine was like $25, but mine's like a Walmart like shitty one.
Yeah. I use these ones from AliExpress that are kind of like, they're like they produce for Selkirk, and you can buy them for like $85 to $100, and they're pretty legit, but they're not like, they're like 85-90% of the real thing.
But isn't that the only barrier to entry though? Is just the racket and the pickleball?
If you want to play, it's like, $20-30.
But if you actually get
okay,
into it, it gets expensive quick.
Yeah, like what,
it's
tournaments?
the grit on the paddles and everything, and
Of course.
and you have to play with court shoes. I didn't play with court shoes for the first year, and afterwards I realized my joints just felt so much better.
But can't you wear
Really?
like basketball shoes? Like aren't those the same as court shoes?
Other people have told me they play with basketball shoes. I've just never appreciated basketball
okay,
shoes,
okay.
so I assume.
Okay.
Huh. So what is court like when we're talking court shoes? I'm guessing they're the same thing as tennis shoes, right? Because I'm just trying to picture like what court shoes look like. Because I have my like Nike Mercurials, but they're just like a flat bottom like shoe for indoor and stuff. And I feel like those are kind of what you would be going for, right?
Mine's like ribbed with just a lot of grip.
Okay.
It's just-
Yeah. Okay.
Well, you said people playing basketball shoes, so I assume that would do the job too, because you cut.
I haven't
and you
seen many,
stop
but just
in basketball.
Like hard.
I'd assume.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's sweet. So how was it like going in? I'm just trying to like picture you show up and you said there were 70 people trying out for the team.
This is badminton.
This is badminton. Sorry. Yeah.
About 40 juniors and 30 seniors, and some people try out for both.
Holy. And what was your game plan going in, or were you just kind of like, all right, let's see what happens here?
I had like a month and a half lead time, I was just watching YouTube videos and just kind of like, I was like,
As you do.
which
No, he wasn't. He was actually getting the best coaching.
Yeah.
You can imagine. He only learned from the
The
best.
best.
oh man, no, I was thinking what drills
YouTube
I did.
John.
I actually got trained by, a coach who was like really, really renowned in the badminton industry.
Oh,
so
cool.
I like to think I knew a lot of drills from back then to kind of translate over. And she actually trained a few Olympians at the time.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So do you have any ringers on your team?
Actually, yes. I would say there's a few players who might win us some, maybe the regional or.
Do you
But
plan, if you win, are you going to give a speech instead of the players? Be like, no, the coach has to talk for the team.
Yeah, do you do pregame speeches? You're like, this is what our focus is today.
Well, I've only done, the tryout so far. I've only done 3 rounds of
Did you
tryout.
swear?
He's just like,
Get down, get lower.
You guys both know I curse a lot.
Dip.
So, a few swears may have.
Is that a term? Dip? Is dip a term?
Dip?
Yeah. Hey, dip down.
that
I don't
booty
know.
on the floor. Get that booty on the floor.
Give us some badminton terminology and let's see if me and Derek
Yeah.
can guess what it means.
Drive?
Is that get close to the net?
I'm going to say that's when you get a ball straight down the sideline.
You're closer, Dex. Not down the sideline, but you just drive it straight as close to the net as you can, but try to get to the mid-court.
Like just over the top of the net?
Yeah. So you're just trying to push the person back, but not give them any room in the air to kind of smash down on.
What situation would you use that for?
When he's at the net
Or her.
Sorry, pardon me.
They.
Him or her and they are at the net. kind of pressuring you, because essentially you want to push them as far back as possible to the back line.
Oh, so it's like it gets them kind of like off their like front setting.
So they're coming at you, and you're like, I gotta get some room.
Yeah.
See, this just shows you already, like, badminton's too hard for me, because you were like, you have to aim it low and like push them back, and I'm like, I literally every time I'm just like, put it over the net, just get it over the net.
No, you just got to push them back, put them on the backhand, make them move, make them tired. It's a lot of people consider it like a type of chess in a sense.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I'm really excited to coach now, because back then I trained a lot, but I didn't understand. My coach didn't help me understand really or I didn't listen. How to really beat my opponent mentally in that sense. And I feel like I maybe have an opportunity to make that influence now. And
nice.
Hopefully I can, make a positive impact.
The hardest part, I think, of that, like, athletics is it is a mental game. But when you're young and athletic, it's harder to understand that, unless you're obviously really good. But that's like a huge thing. It is like when you're a kid, you're like, shut up, I'll just hit it harder. Like, no, you gotta like beat them down emotionally. Yeah.
Exactly. Make them cry.
Give us another word, Gabe.
Drop.
I think that's easy.
Drop shot? Oh.
That's when you hit the ball and it just gets over and drops right away.
I'm going to say, first off, it's a BA in Mario Tennis, and it's, that's a drop shot. And it's, when you hit it, it's like Dax said, it drops like quick over the net, but it's like they think it's going, so they'll be in the backcourt waiting, and then it just dies, and they're like, oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
It just makes it right over the
same
net.
thing. Yeah.
Nice.
Those are my favorite, because they can be so deceptive, and
I love them too. That was all, whenever I play tennis, I was not good, but all I ever was proud of is I can do my backhand slice. Like if I go like that, I can do the little, like it hits and goes backwards. And it always felt so good to do that. Nice. Yeah. Got any more?
I can't think of the top of my head.
Getting into badminton, Gabe, do you think that you wish you played more competitively after high school at all? Or are you happy that you did it in high school and that's where it kind of ended?
Yeah. I kind of got defeated after I played from U14. When you play categories under a certain age. I played really well in U16. And then after that, I tried playing nationals twice. And when you start late, you get seated at the bottom, naturally. So I played against the number one in Canada twice and just got destroyed. And
that was so hard.
Yeah.
Holy.
I still remember his name because it just scarred.
What was his name?
Martin Jufrey.
Oh, wow.
I looked him up a few
Was
years
he
ago. I
French?
was like, you.
Is he
French?
super successful?
Yeah.
Damn you,
some
Martin
lawyer in
Jufrey.
Calgary. I'm like, you mofo.
Imagine they're
you
like,
haunt me.
He owns the. I could have been you.
I'm coming for you.
Imagine like you go and you talk to him, and he's like, I attribute all my success of owning the lower Calgary location on my skills in badminton. It really taught me what I needed to be successful.
Oh my
Gabe's
God.
in front of the TV. He's like, he's talking to me.
Yes, flips his TV bigger.
I helped.
No, I just got, you just get destroyed and you only get a point or two in a game of 15 points and you're just like,
God damn.
yeah,
Okay.
I guess, no matter what I train, I don't think I have that to pursue.
let's
But
see.
it's fun to play. I enjoy it. Pickleball a little bit more these days. It's just a good sport to connect.
Good sport. Okay, actually, no, I sorry, before I ask you this, that's a bit of a ridiculous question. I want to touch on some pickleball more. What do you like about pickleball? Because I've played with you that one time, and like, okay, let's be real here.
That was 2 years ago.
But let's be real here. You're good at all racket sports. Or comparatively to me, and all of us, like, you're really good at ping pong too. Mm-hmm. What is it that's made you want to go into pickleball so hard? Because like, Dax kind of asked you before, he's like, you didn't play badminton, but pickleball you've really like fallen for, I feel like.
Yeah. I think it was literally like 2 years ago. I was kind of getting out of my last relationship and I was just kind of looking for things to do and just try to connect with the community and kind of just essentially, find find new friends to kind of explore, enjoy life with. And I kind of saw some videos about pickleball and how it was picking up 2 years ago, and I found some pickleball entry class, and that led me to one of these courts, found these players, and then found another court to play with. And it's a really inclusive sport.
So what is a pickleball entry? Just for let's just try, we're trying to do a little advertisement for someone that maybe has heard of pickleball but has no fucking clue. They're not you who had like some racket background. Like, what does a beginner pickleball court or course look like? Or
it's the exact size of a badminton court.
Mm-hmm.
Like the exact
sorry, I mean like what is this? You said you went to a beginner's workshop, or what would you call it?
Yeah, workshop. This. So
what does that look like? What do you do there?
They were just showing literally basics. I was, how to hit the ball. And I was like, immediately I was like, yeah, this is a little bit, little bit novice for me. But I met some really cool people there, including one guy who's literally he's opening up IPOP, which is the hot courts that are opening up in Burnaby.
What's a hot court?
They gutted a sorry?
Good looking people.
Good looking people out. Get out of here.
Who judges the hot court? Here's a guy.
No, an ugly dude.
It's a court that's just been hyped up a lot because there haven't been many that have been built in BC yet.
Oh.
In the Lower Mainland, I think there's some in Chilliwack, like indoor. Vancouver has been really strict on being allowing them to open for some reason, and they try to. They're now opening in Lougheed Mall.
Cool! In Lougheed Mall.
They gutted the Safeway, and they're opening 10 courts in there.
And they've been advertising like crazy. Hey?
That's going to be such a busy place. I feel like that's somewhere I don't want to learn how to play pickleball.
Oh no, that's going to be where because the admittance fee is like pretty high. You have to pay like $400 or $500 a month for
what?
It's insane.
Wait, whoa.
Yeah.
Dude, is pickleball the new elitist
it's a cash cow, man.
What?
America, like the pickleball courts there, they're making bank. And that's why people are trying to pop these up. I mean,
$400 a year to
and that's the basic entry. You don't get all the
pickleball.
Yeah.
I'm just playing outside. I'm just going to play outside. How much better is an indoor court going to be than playing outside?
Not $400 better.
No.
That's exactly.
But there are some that are willing to pay it.
Yeah, that's
it's like the other day I was walking downtown and I saw this upscale acai bowl place. I'm like, what the heck is this? Yeah, whatever. It looks nice in there.
Right.
I walk in and an acai bowl was $25, and I was sitting there going, how much better is this acai bowl going to be from like a $10 acai bowl?
Yeah. Yeah, it can't be. Like, in my eyes, for it to be that, it better be huge. Like, massive. Mm-hmm.
I didn't ask.
Oh, you didn't get it?
No, why would I spend $25 on an acai bowl?
Because it's good.
Now, the thing is, right now, there's not that many courses. Like, there's Jericho, there's QE.
There's North Van?
There's a few, but they're already packed.
Yeah.
And we're like, the pickleball game's been around for a long time, but it's only, I feel like 2-3 years ago, it's really been picking up since like post-COVID. And I feel like there's a lot of more room.
What's pickleball to etiquette game? So let's just say you come to a court super busy.
Yeah.
Is it winner stays?
They have honestly a pretty good system. It's called a paddle system.
Okay.
So literally someone will make a homemade rack or something, and you just literally stick your paddle in there, and people will finish their game and call court, and the next 4 people just go on.
Oh, so there's no winner stays.
No.
So it's not like basketball where it's like we got to the court first.
There's usually 6 to 8 courts. Every court. So
did you get to stay if you win?
No. It's just a matter of respect. It's just 15 minutes and finish the game.
Think about this game. Respect. You could be the guy, but like respect is earned by beating me off this court.
I think that's how it should be, but I guess I'm not part of the community.
It's a cool vibe. It's a mix of all ages.
Well, that's cool. It's just the thing that I find crazy about it is, so like I'm just, with my limited experience into tennis had a lot of fucking issues with people fighting over time on courts, and you're here too long and you're playing the game and you're not done, and someone shows up and like, we want to play now. Like all these like weird things. It sounds like pickleball is going down that path slowly.
Yes, but I think we have a lot of tennis players that converted to pickleball.
Okay.
And the
Why?
one thing, well, it's easier in the joints.
You don't have to cover that much room. And a lot of people from this area who have converted also say tennis is very cliquish. So
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can too.
I can see that. Tennis looks so cool.
It
you know,
is.
there's just certain sports that you play. Like, I think as hard golf is really cool when you're really good at it. You look really cool.
You do.
Tennis, you look so cool when you play tennis.
Yeah.
There's just some cool sports, you know?
Well, if you're baller at it too, like anyone
It just
that's
looks
like,
cool.
Yeah, anyone's like, oh, tennis, whatever, and then they hit a ball. Like, holy shit, that's so hard.
Yeah, and then you watch someone like have a good rally or can place their serve so well, and you go, whoa.
I wish I could play tennis, but if I had to choose tennis or golf, I'd choose golf.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I think. Okay, do you mean professionally? Like, let's just say you could either be the best tennis player or the best golfer. You'd rather be the best golfer?
No, you can be the best amateur. So you walk around with everyone we know and you're the best.
Oh,
And-
golf.
But
Golf.
it's not, you're not a pro.
Golf.
Yeah.
But I think if we went pro, I think I'd rather be like the best. Like, if you could be like halfway on Nadal or Federer, I'd rather be that than
I'd
Tiger.
rather be Tiger.
Not me.
Even if I had to go down the same road as him with the drugs and the breaking your back.
Of course you would.
I would love that.
Of course you would.
For me, I think the difference is for me is golf. You play a pool. It's sort of like when you play or watch EPL, and you play a full season and you get the winner at the end.
Yeah.
Versus American sports where it's like the 1v1 knockout.
Right.
I like that aspect of tennis.
Where is that?
You're like the last man standing.
Yeah, that's fair. It is a beast sport, and just like I feel like Nadal and Federer, like the guys that are at the top, they just are so good that they beat everyone mentally before it even starts.
They're both retired now.
I
That's
know,
how old we
I
are.
know. But the thing was, even when they retired, I feel like they retired still beasting.
I think Federer on the way out had a pretty rough go.
Did he?
I think he won one or two more in like the last few years, but I think time waits for none of those guys, you know?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
They're legends.
They were.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? Think about this. This is a crazy stat. Every time we talk about legends that have been playing for a long time, I'm going to shoehorn this in.
Okay.
LeBron is still having an MVP-like season, and he came in the same year that Nadal and Federer became like megastars. And those guys are long retired.
Wow.
And he's still an MVP caliber player.
Yeah, LeBron's just, remember, everyone was like, he spends $1 million a year on his body recovering. It's like, money well spent, it appears.
I mean,
yeah.
the amount you get paid extra.
Probably
for this
more now,
stuff, yeah.
I'd assume.
Yeah. It's funny because there's a tweet that 10 years ago, so LeBron turned 30. So he's 40 now, Gabe, right? He just turned 40 in December.
That's crazy.
But 10 years ago, he turned 30, and some guy tweeted, he said, LeBron just turned 30. Thank God we only have a few more years left of this fuckery. He turned 40 in December, and the same guy tweeted, LeBron just turned 40. Thank God we only have a few more years of this fuckery.
That's a great one.
That's good.
That's awesome.
Was he actually a LeBron hater?
No. I think he was saying it because LeBron for like 10 years basically dominated his conference.
He literally was like, it was basically the NBA finals were against LeBron James.
He went to the finals.
The Heat was his first, right?
No, he was his first.
Then he went back to Cleveland.
Went back to Cleveland, and then he was in the finals for 9 straight years. So basically, if you turned on NBA in June, it would be LeBron's team and then another team.
Another team, yeah.
That was him in Cleveland.
Yeah, no, from Miami to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Till the very end.
It was just
LeBron.
Just LeBron's team, always. It was crazy.
I was never a big basketball fan, but I remember I was in Turks and Caicos, which is like 50 to 100 miles off of Miami, when the big three went down there. And everyone was just wearing big three shirts that whole summer because they were just huge fans. It was like, okay.
Gabe, why were you in Turks and Caicos?
Just working in a pretty nice waterfront property in the old Turks and Caicos.
That's so cool.
That's crazy.
How long did you work there for?
6 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you ever miss that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely want to go back there, and it's beautiful, beautiful tropical paradise.
Yeah, I'd love to go. Alex McMorty is down in the Bahamas.
Just now? Like he
Caymans.
moved already?
He leaves in April 18th, I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah, he's going for 3 years to the Caymans.
Yeah, I remember that.
And they're like Turks and Caicos is part of where he's like doing his
Amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing.
and so-
Actually, I'll have to tell him to.
Yes.
I'll have to give him some hookups.
Well, we're gonna go down there for sure because he's getting a 2-bedroom place just so people can go. And we were like, got to check out the Bahamas or Caymans if you get a chance.
Yeah. I went to school with a guy from Cayman.
Wow.
And he went to school in UBCO.
Wow.
It was so
That's so
random.
random. That's
He
so
was
random.
born and raised in the Cayman Islands, and he went to school in Kelowna.
My dream is to go to the University of Kelowna.
He was this big surfer, like,
I mean, that's pretty cool.
yeah, super chill guy.
Okay, have you guys heard of first off, what are your guys' feelings about families that make money on social media via their being a family? So like their vlogs basically, but like what they end up doing is they will like use their kids to get views. Like, do you guys get what I'm talking about there when I say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Costco guys.
Yeah.
Like the boom, boom.
Yeah, like, but it's more like, I don't know, it's more like, imagine like me, Neve, and Juliet had every single thing we did on social media and we got really rich and famous, but like, it kind of was like weird because it wasn't me and Neve and we have Juliet. It's like Juliet got us famous. Like, what do you guys think of that?
I think Derek's soundboarding.
So that's a no. But do you have many feelings about that, or do you care at all?
If you're willing to flaunt your family like that, go for it. But I mean,
See, I think it's fucked. But okay, so then have you guys heard of this woman, this Mormon family? And what this is like an extreme case of it. There's a documentary out about it that you can watch, but it's kind of gruesome and I wouldn't recommend it. But okay, so
Is it the sisters' wives?
the sister wives? No.
Actually, yes.
Okay, so there's this Mormon named Ruby Frank. No, I haven't heard this yet. Okay, so
Solid Mormon name.
so this might be be a little off, but I'm pretty confident in what it is here. Okay, so this Ruby Frank, basically she's this Mormon influencer mom, and she like hardcore vlogs her kids, and she has all these hours of her videoing her kids. But the things that get them famous aren't genuine; they're all bottled. Like her mom, like there's all these offcuts of her mom being like, smile harder. You're not smiling hard enough. Make it look like you're having fun for like 15, 20 takes.
Yeah.
So their whole thing is already like, it's not like they're just videoing their life. It's all bottled, right? And this mom clearly has like something wrong with her because she's like getting like so mad at these kids. Anyhow, randomly out of nowhere, this Jody Hildebrandt, who is a psychologist, supposedly, starts getting a hold of this Ruby Frank, and she starts saying things to her about how like she thinks that God is like, are you looking this up right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Make sure, because I'm not 100% sure on it.
Oh, just keep telling it.
Yeah, so this woman gets a hold of her, and basically she's like, me and my husband are having trouble, but you can tell because you're watching the blog, right? So the psychologist comes in and starts saying like she needs to like help her out, help the family, and somehow she convinces her to move in.
the doctor.
The psychologist convinces them to let her move in with them.
Yeah.
And then when she moves in with them, she starts saying that there's like demonic possession and it's like all like things they're doing within the house. And she's the whole time having like psychiatric sessions with all the kids and the husband and stuff. And the husband's such a little bitch and all this. She starts basically saying like the husband has to leave. He's like a demon is like possessing this house from all these whack things. So the husband somehow leaves. He literally leaves this weird psychologist, his wife, who's like clearly messed up and she's like all obsessed with her blogs and stuff, and now believes that their house is possessed, and this is how they have to go about getting rid of this demon. And then And then eventually, after the husband leaves, it starts coming to this point where this Jody Hildebrandt, so the psychologist, needs to be in the room with the mother every night. And so she like starts going up there and she's like, it's to cure her in case this like demon comes and gets her. So inevitably they find out that Jody Hildebrandt is a lesbian and she's a man hater from like, she had this like previous relationship where her husband left her and all this stuff, right? So she got the husband out of the house and became lesbian lovers with this Ruby Frank woman. Okay. And now this isn't even the crazy part.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Jody, batten up.
Yeah. Yeah. She punched up hard, dude.
Punched up.
She punched way up. Let me see.
Oh, wow. Good for you, Jody.
Yeah. So, okay. So
Respect.
So this is that though. This though, that's not the crazy stuff. That's crazy, but this is where it gets whacked. So remember, the whole time how we're talking about like there's this like underlying possession thing.
Yeah.
So once the husband moves out, basically through all these like therapy sessions, this Jody woman says that the son masturbating and this other daughter are like the oldest ones. They're like a problem and the demon's there because of their sin. So they kick the two eldest out of the house.
Like they killed them or kicked them?
Kick them out.
Okay.
And then there's the two youngest left over. And so then time goes on. It's like, let's say like 6 or 7 months. And then all of a sudden the police get called from a neighboring house of where these two now lesbians with these two kids live. And this is why I wouldn't watch this documentary, because this is like the end of it.
Is that on Hulu?
I think it's on Hulu.
Did you watch it?
No, I didn't. I heard it was too gross, like sad. I try not to watch stuff that's like sad, and this is why. Okay?
Oh, I'm gonna watch this.
So basically, there's literally a video of someone's like door cam of a kid that's severely malnourished, a little boy, and his hands have like tape around them and wires bound, and he's like bleeding, and he runs across the street and he rings the doorbell, and this old dude's like, what? He's like, sir, like, please call the police. My sister's dying and like, we need your help. And the guy's like, what? And then the kid he's like, yeah. So he calls the police, and then like, they sit the kid down and like they stay with him, and like you just can see this like severely traumatized little kid. And so then it turns out that these two psychopath women, they're like, clearly they're both severely mentally ill.
Yeah.
They've been these two kids that they kept. They viewed them as the reason that there was demons still haunting them, whatever the fuck that means.
Yeah.
And the mom on record is saying she would rather let her kids die than let these demons escape. So they were just like malnourished, torturing them and all this shit. And the reason it was found out was because someone watched one of the vlogs and was like, wait, something's up. Where's this one kid been for so long?
Yeah.
And that's what led to like...
Because she kept vlogging the whole time?
The whole time. Anyhow, how fucking crazy is that?
That's crazy. That's just...
Well, now I just want to watch the documentary.
Yeah, I do too, but I also, like, everyone that watched it said they wanted to, and then when they see, like, it's like you're seeing, like, severe child abuse, really, is what you're watching.
I've heard so many stories.
You know what's crazy? Did you watch the Jeffrey Dahmer series?
Yes.
So you could watch that, but you can't watch.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie, dude. I could. I just would rather not. I'm trying to avoid like super sad stuff.
Oh,
but
gotcha,
I could.
gotcha.
I don't think I'm pretty honestly like desensitized, as I think most of us are. Like, we were at Gabe's house when the terrorists, like the 9/11 terrorists, were cutting people's heads off with knives, and you could watch a video of it and be like, and like you just see blood squirting, and they choke on their own blood as their head came off, and I was like, I don't think I was supposed to see this in grade 9. Like,
that was real? That stuff was real?
Oh yeah, dude.
I believe so.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
Why did we look
AI.
for that stuff at 2 a.m.?
Yeah, I don't know. I genuinely believe we got fucked by the internet the hardest. Our generation was given... We were given laptops, wireless internet, and computers, and then that transitioned into us being on the internet with phones. Like,
I disagree, man. I think the generation this time around has been really, really screwed up. At least we went outside of our homes.
True.
We grew up, at the very least, our formative years were made with the ability to actually go talk to people. We didn't have phones. We didn't have portable devices. We had like Game Boys maybe. Yeah. But I think this generation is so disconnected. Everything is disconnected now.
I agree, but I haven't seen it a lot. What do you think, Gabe?
I've heard on some podcasts that I've listened to that some 18 to 20-year-olds are kind of reverting back and reversing technology a bit because they see their parents on it so much.
Really?
Again, I'm not. I know I'm not around kids that much, so I can't really say. But I mean, it's interesting. I mean, it's like psychologically, I can see that when your parents are just buried in your phones trying to do social media stuff, and you're like, oh my god, this is like. You see that as a bad example. You have the right, you have the
absolutely,
consciousness to see that.
It's weird because, for example, the other day I was talking to some coworkers, and she said something about, "Oh, I'll send it to you on Instagram," and I was like, "No, I don't have Instagram." She's like, "What? What do you mean on Instagram?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't have anything." She's like, "What about Facebook?" I'm like, "No, I'm on Facebook." Twitter is like, "No, I don't have Twitter." And then one of the girls, she's 24, 25. She's like, "That's super sus." And I'm like, "What?" Like, it's really suspect that you don't have, like, what are you hiding, Dax?
Dude, it's funny you say that she said that, because that's literally why I got Instagram, was because when I became single, girls wouldn't give me their phone number because they didn't have Instagram. So for girls, it's like I don't know. I feel like social media for girls is a different beast than it is
Why'd
for
you
dudes.
assume it was two girls?
I don't know.
It was two girls.
Yeah, social media, I don't know. I'm happy I don't have it anymore, although I've been told that a whole bunch of people messaged me on my birthday saying they saw on Facebook that it was my birthday, which confused me because I thought I deleted my Facebook.
Oh, so your Facebook's definitely not deleted.
Yeah, but it's weird because
Reactivated
I deactivated or whatever. Like,
No, it's because your Facebook Messenger's active, so it's probably reactivated.
oh, brutal.
No,
Yeah,
well, my Facebook Messenger's active, but you can't find me on Facebook. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I've gone through the steps necessary
Yeah, I
to
thought I did.
stay off the
but
footprint.
it just is what it is.
You can't really Google. But I think your initial, we got really off topic, but your initial question was the vlogging thing. I think it's super weird, but I also think families and people are different. I think some people can thrive under the spotlight, but it also depends on, I think, how genuine you present yourself in the format that you present yourself in vlogging. So, for example, I'll take someone that's super random. You know who Kai Cenat is?
Yes.
The vlogger. I know he's super annoying, but a lot of his stuff is so long format where it's like 7 hours or 24 hours, or the longest he's ever done was 30 days. And
Of straight streaming?
straight streaming. He just has a stream on. And I've watched enough of him where I've been able to formulate an opinion on who he is, in the sense of he's pretty much how he presents himself. And I really like that.
Yeah, I like Kai Cenat too. I think the whole scene's a bit weird. But I do like him.
So, but what I'm saying is that it also depends on how you show yourself. And I don't think a lot of families are doing 24-hour streams, you know?
Yeah, that's
It's always
true.
like a doctored.
That's true, yeah.
Because you remember that weird lady that got in big trouble 2 years ago? The one that apologized by singing on the ukulele? The girl with the bangs, like Something Sings? You know, that whole controversy? It was like Something Sings. She has like, Miranda Sings. That's her name. Miranda Sings. She has like 17 or 20 million followers, and her whole thing is this character, Miranda.
Okay.
And her target demographic are a younger audience. And then it turns out that she was DMing people on the side and like kids on the side.
Right.
And then she tried to apologize to the world by singing ukulele and basically blaming cancel culture. And everybody was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're trying to sing if you haven't seen it after we finish this pod,
we should watch
I'll put
it,
It's
yeah.
5 minutes. It's super
So that's
cringy.
cringe.
Okay, yeah, I'd love to watch that.
By the way, Derek, you are still on Facebook, Dex. You are off.
What? I am?
So, Derek, try harder.
Damn it. That's so annoying. I'll have to look into that. That's weird. Yeah, I was so shocked. I mean, I haven't used it, but
So
still.
you're not off of
Yeah, okay, that's the thing that I think's weird about like Kai Cenat, I Show Speed and stuff, is it's a way different form of entertainment, or I don't know, what is it? Like, is it social media? They're like, because they're streamers, right?
It's called stream. So basically, from what I understand, this is going to sound so boomer of me.
Boomer. Nice boomer moves.
So, from what I understand is there's vlogging that was first. that was essentially popularized by Jake Paul, right?
Okay, yeah.
Let's just say he's like the grandfather or the godfather.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the godfather.
He was the main guy that
like
got
he's maybe not the one that started it, but he's the one that blew that whole thing open.
Yeah.
So he's the godfather of vlogging. But vlogging essentially is like you film yourself, but then you edit it after and you release the clip. Streaming is you go on live. So part of it, I think, came from Instagram Live. And then it turned into this huge thing where now you can be on Twitch, whatever platform you go off of. YouTube has it now, right?
I think Facebook Live was first.
Facebook has it, yeah. But anyway, he does Facebook Live and you basically stream yourself sometimes just on the internet, sometimes just hanging out with your friends and you're chatting to the chat the whole time. Like you'll hear them all the time go like, chat, like, what do you think? Yeah, what's up, chat?
Yeah, that's what I think's weird about it is like, so iShow Speed's been on quite a few things now that I've like watched. So I don't like Speed, but I don't hate Speed.
I actually really like him.
Oh, do you? I don't like have anything against him. I'm not like, fuck that guy. I'm just like, whatever. But I did find it weird. He came on wrestling and then the soccer, like one of the things with Jamie Carragher and Thierry Henry for Champions League. And it's weird because like they're always looking at their phone because they're talking to the chat. And it's kind of weird because so they're on camera and they're supposed to be doing something for the camera, right? So like at WWE or for the soccer. But their focus is clearly more on their phone than it is on what's going in front of them. And at first I was like, what the hell are you doing? You're on TV. But then I realized I was like, oh, but TV doesn't matter to them as much as their chat does.
They also get filmed though. There's stuff that he did. So for example, when he traveled Europe, someone filmed for him. Yeah. So he could do his escapades. I don't necessarily like a lot of his content, but from what I've watched again, I actually think he's a pretty decent guy.
Speed,
both of them. Yeah, both of them. So like for me, like goes a long way when in like a world of like scummy streamers.
Yeah, well, Kai, I don't know as much about Speed, but I know Kai, he's with his crew.
His whole crew.
And they're all chill. Like he was on Logan Paul's podcast and Logan was like, aren't you guys like, don't you guys like fight and want more money to based on content? He's like, no, bro, we're a crew. We do everything together. We all get equal this and that, and it's all good. And he's like, yeah, but Kai, you're the guy. And he's like, I don't care, man. We're a crew. And you could tell that like he felt that.
He was on Jimmy Fallon last week because he was on a commercial for Allstate, which is crazy. Kai Cenata's on an Allstate commercial.
What's Allstate exactly?
You know, like
insurance.
Home insurance.
It's insurance. Oh, okay.
You know, like that.
I know
like
Allstate.
Like a neighbor. Allstate is here.
Yeah. Allstate is probably at least on once an hour on US television.
Yeah, there are version of whatever.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like the version of the French Canadian car commercial.
Which commercial?
The one that goes on hockey games.
The one that who hates that?
Me.
Yeah, Gabe hates that. Yeah, Gabe can't stand
I just have to
one.
mention.
Just throwing it out there.
I do like it.
He was on Jimmy Fallon though, and he was saying how when he started one of his biggest streams, it was like a month in or something. He was streaming from his Brooklyn apartment or wherever he was from, New York, and he was doing push-ups.
Okay.
And a rat like literally like scurried across his room. And he was saying how that's where I started. Like I didn't get a leg up from anybody. Like I didn't get like the only people that believed in me were my friends, right? So like this is a thing that he's doing with all of his buddies, and why would he do anything different?
Well, it totally makes sense. Like I genuinely, even with like podcasting, and it's the same thing as like you go out there, you put your content out the way you want to do it, and if it takes off, it takes off. Like you obviously there's things you have to be consistent, you have to have like good content and stuff, but it's like I don't know, it's like what he was doing that made him successful was just being him. It wasn't like they were like I don't think at least they were producing these things. They were always just chilling and gaming, weren't they?
Not really gaming. Well, they do game.
Okay.
But I think a lot of their stuff is just talking and hanging out and doing stuff.
Oh, like literally just
and then sometimes he'll do internet things where he'll be like looking up on the internet and you're kind of on the ride with him and you'll watch his reaction.
Oh,
so just, I guess a bunch of stuff.
That would be fun to do, actually. Could you guys do that? Imagine you just knew, like, we're kicking it right now, but there's 14,000 people watching us.
I think I would get canceled so quickly.
Yeah,
I got canceled in the first minute.
I would get canceled so quickly. We would not be able to air. They would have one video for one hangout session. It's like, we can't release this.
Yeah,
guys.
like,
There's no way. We have jobs.
it's not even entertaining. It's just, well, okay, the thing for me is, I'd like to think I could do it, like just sit here and talk, but I feel like if I knew 15,000 people, or even 1,000 people, let's say, let's not go that big, let's say 1,000 people were watching me, I just don't think I could act the normal I'd want to. I don't think I'd act super weird, be like, yo guys, I'm gonna slam a 2-6 and do backflip. Like, not like, wouldn't be like out of the normal, but I feel like it'd be hard to imagine out of nowhere. Derek this is not a good idea, no. But yeah, like, I just feel like it would make me act weird knowing people are watching me on that scale.
Oh, absolutely.
I think you have to have a personality built to be in front of the camera, and I can't do that. I struggle sometimes with just being on the microphone.
Yeah, I did drama 10, and that was enough for me.
Gabe and me did a skit together. Remember that?
Was that in Medusa's class?
Yeah, and it was the Rudolph and Santa the lockout during the NHL
Oh
season.
my god! Yeah, we worked on that for a few weeks, right?
Yeah.
Oh my
What
god!
was it good
I
stuff?
totally forgot
Can
about
you
that.
do this right now?
Do you want to do it?
let's do it.
Do you want to tell the story? I remember like all my lines perfectly. No,
No, I told that was an unlocked memory right there. That's been.
do you remember it, or do you want me to tell what happened?
No, you go for it.
Okay, so we had our drama like Christmas concert thing, and in the main gymnasium at STA there was like a group of the really good drama people, and then there was in the foyer another stage set up, and then the cafeteria, and we were in the cafeteria in like the shittiest stage, and it was the NHL lockout. And so we did our skit. Everything had to be Christmas themed. It was Santa and the reindeers, where the reindeers were on lockout. And we were like at the negotiation table in front of everyone.
2005, 2006, it must have been.
Yeah, it was. It was our, because it was senior year, I think.
How long did it have to be? 2005, 2006 was grade 10, dude.
Oh, it was grade 10? Okay.
I think it was good.
Senior year.
'Cause I don't think.
What year did you think? Wait, hold on. What year did you think we
Oh,
graduated?
wait. I know.
Okay,
we
okay.
graduated. 2015.
I'm 9.
But yeah, it was cringy at best, I'd say, Gabe. The writing was terrible. The acting was terrible. There wasn't much passion involved.
Speak for yourself.
You didn't even remember it happened.
Yeah. No, I blocked that out. I'm just not. As we were talking about, just being in front of a crowd is just not my. As some people think.
Yeah.
Which is totally fair.
Okay, well, in high school, we had to be put in front of a crowd. We had to do speeches. We had to do group projects with a presentation. And even in school, there was mandatory things you had to do to be in front of people. Yeah. Have you had to do or be in front of a crowd and speak since then in your adult life?
Oh, my industry now, especially, for sure.
Do you do a lot of speaking in front of people?
Oh, yeah.
How many?
Yeah. Sometimes you're with families of like 8 to 10 people.
Okay.
And it's, it can be a little intimidating because there are some family members or investors that have been doing it for like 20, 30 years. So obviously some might know more or some act like they know more.
Yeah.
Which is fair.
Have you done like conferences or anything or had to speak in front of a crowd?
No,
Would you volunteer?
No. I don't think I could.
I think that voice where you say no, I think that's you needing to say yes.
Yeah, do it. Yeah.
I'd come support you. I'll come watch.
Too. I'd heckle you. I'd be like, you don't know shit. No.
Say it faster, Gabe.
Oh, God. I would stutter like every
He's
sentence.
like trying to sell a condo complex and we're chirping.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I agree with Dax. I think you have to give a speech. Speech. Good. Dax, have you ever done it in front of big crowds?
I'm not good. It's so weird. I was actually telling my boss this the other day. I'm so not good in front of crowds, but it's weird because I'm really good in like a one-on-one setting.
Yeah, or even small groups.
The small groups. Yeah, I'm really good in a small group setting. I don't mind it. I like talking to people. But when I have to talk about something in front of a lot of people, it's weird. The most I've ever done is on Zoom, and I did that Asia call
right,
a couple of weeks ago, which was like super trippy, and I was so nervous for that. I rehearsed everything for weeks.
It is crazy how when you get in front of a large group of people, it just flusters you. It's weird.
I do actually have a funny experience when I was working in the hotel industry. When I worked at Sandman, we had maybe 6 or 7 different crews stay with us, and we had Korean Air. So when they came in, we had to do a full speech to introduce them to the whole area.
Okay.
And usually there'd be like 20 stewardesses in full Korean Air like outfit. And after you gave like a minute-long speech of everything in the area, they'd all like clap for you. And it just, I don't know, it just popped up in my mind when you were
Did you feel really good?
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Oh, see, affirmation. We could do that for you.
Yeah.
Don't lull me into that.
Think about how good it would feel if you did that in front of all these realtors and it went really well and everyone was like,
Yeah, no.
The realty gig's a crazy gig. I always just think it's a shark eat shark world. The realty world.
For sure. It's hard because there's so many people in the city with so many friends that are realtors. So it's always tug and pull.
The thing that I find interesting about realty that I don't understand for clientele is like, I get my clients based off of like, so you have ones that come in every week, ones that come in every 2 weeks, ones that come in every month, ones that come in every 2 months, 6 months, right? And that like fills it up.
Yeah.
But the main thing being within a year, like they're always coming back kind of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas realty, that like, it takes so much longer to build up that clientele, and they're like the minimum is like 5 years, I'd assume, before someone comes back to you to sell a house again, or?
Well, yes and no. I mean, you just have to get into the certain referral networks. That's you do an amazing job for one person. You go above and beyond, and you just need them to appreciate you enough to promote you to their friends and family.
Right.
Which again is hard because the way that we think about it is like 75-80% of the market is spoken for. The 20% that are coming in are people moving into the city that don't have the connections or that don't know people. Otherwise, most people that are entrenched in the city have a family friend or brother or sister that knows someone.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
Yeah, like I would use you if I bought anything.
I'll find my
I'd
own.
expect so, but I appreciate it.
I'm gonna imagine I use Gabe, like Gabe does everything, and then I find a different realtor. I'm like, yo, I've got all these notes about what we should do.
Dude, some people do that.
It's
crazy.
That.
It's savage, man. Like some people, they will just use like 3 or 4 people and not discuss in between and then they just sign on with one person at the end. It's just like,
that's what I think is dirty. Doing that, yeah. I believe you should be like, I think one of the biggest issues in the world right now, well, I think it's gone on forever, but it's a thing of like, you're supposed to do good because it's like, that's how you make things work good, like a functioning society, but people always just cut corners so hard. And I feel like doing something like that is one of those things where it's like, stop abusing the fact that realtors don't get paid until they get paid. Like, just use one. I don't know.
yeah,
I know.
There's a contract that some people do use, called exclusive buyer's agency contract that essentially restricts you from using anyone else contractually. But of course, some people bypass it as well.
I want to take a little shift here. Into
some shit or shift?
Shift.
After your shit.
Both.
Wait, you poop?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
Wait. A
little bit?
Maybe. I didn't want to tell you what. Maybe. No, I want to take a shift into something we all love. Video games. Gabe, tell me about your feelings on video games, but not, I know we all love them, but like, what are some of your favorite video games all time and why?
Oh man. Compared to you guys, I've played maybe like 5% in the volume of games in reality. I mean,
but what do you like? That's what we're asking.
Man, Pokemon Stadium.
Really?
It's definitely like just the replayability, like just the memories it had in childhood.
Like that game was massive. That was a great game.
Connor said that you were really good at Halo.
Yeah, Halo 2. That was a sick game.
Really?
Well, I only
Gabe was really that good.
Really freaking good.
I only started playing at 2. I never played 1.
How did you get good at Halo?
I played with these guys a few times, got my ass kicked, and I was like, no, I'm getting Xbox. And got Halo 2 and just played online nonstop. Like, I was saying offline, you just, no self-control. Like I didn't study much in high school after I got Halo 2.
Yeah, like, dude,
It was a lot of time.
I was terrible at Halo. Like, gun games aren't my thing ever. But, like, we would go on, and between Connor and Gabe, we would just clean house every time.
Connor's weirdly good at shooters. Like, he's really good at Battle Royale games. He was good at COD. I guarantee you he was pretty decent at Overwatch.
Yeah.
He plays a ton of Fortnite.
Yeah, I'm shocked because I just assumed Connor watched game or didn't game as much, and then every time I see him, he's like hardcore into Fortnite.
Yeah, well, and it's not that. I always assumed Connor would be more into the games that we play, RPGs.
Yeah.
But all the games that Connor plays are like competitive games.
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
He's a competitive gamer.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big competitive gamer. Like, I liked Overwatch, it was fun, but the one thing I didn't like about it was when it got competitive. Cause like you can play a, like, air quotes competitive game, like, let's say, like, Fortnite or something, or COD, and it's not competitive because you're just at low levels. But as soon as you start raising in the ranks, not even being good, but you're like, oh, I want to get good, you instantly realize you're like, oh, this is like trying to get, like, really fit at the gym or get really good at a sport or, like, I don't know, your career or whatever, where you have to, like, sink hours into it.
It takes time.
And that's what I'm not down to do. Whereas, like, I know you're going to say you sink a lot of hours into games, but it's chill.
Yeah.
It's not stressful.
I was going to say that. I was going to say, like, Luca's the best basketball player in the world, and he also is a phenomenal Fortnite player.
I would argue that the reason Luca's so good at Fortnite is he's so good at basketball that he has the spare time to be good at Fortnite.
And he's just got ice in his veins. It really is. In those games, the ability to keep your heart rate low and...
That's true.
Why is that?
Well, you just keep your eyes on the prize.
Yeah, dude, when things get heavy in it, like, things start going off and you're, like, in a tense moment, your heart rate, like, you, like, start, your palms are sweating, you're like, come on, let's go. So you'll do something weird where you'll, like, jump, look down to the right and shoot your grenade when really you were supposed to track the guy to the left. And it's like, you just in the moment, like, lost control a little. Yeah.
Did you ever play or join any tournaments in high school for Halo?
No.
Or just tournaments online?
There was, what was it? There was MLP. I think that was the gaming.
MLG?
MLG.
Yeah, the MLG.
I think Paul played that for a bit.
Really?
I think, I remember asking him about it and,
because he was really good too, right?
He's better than
much
Gabe.
better,
Yeah.
Yeah. Smoochy.
Paul's amazing, dude. Paul and Cam from my soccer team.
Okay.
When we play COD with them, they're like legitimate, like, dominate the lobbies every time.
Really? Could he carry you guys? Like those two?
Oh, yeah, dude. If you look at my COD records on the last few of them, because I'll always play with them, I'm terrible. I'm just god-awful. But I play with them, and it's like, you'll be like, yo, this guy wins like 85% of his games on the search and destroy, which is the hardest mode. But
the worst one.
But if you watch, dude, no, but Dax, if you watch, because it's which search and destroy is you're either defending one of 2 points or you have the bomb attacking, and it's if you get shot you're dead.
Yeah.
Every round I just die and then watch them play, and they're like, we won again. I'm like, all right.
Who would they play with? Like Donnie?
No, so it'd be me. Donahoe's good too. It'd be me, Paul, Donahoe, Cam, Michael, who's good, and then this guy Kyle, and Armand is pretty good too. It's basically I just suck really, but yeah. Anyhow,
They're all that good at COD.
It's ridiculous.
You're there for morale.
Yeah, I am. I'm the clown. Like,
Did you play COD?
Up to Modern Warfare 2.
Were you good at that too?
I was pretty good. Connor was better. Connor. I think it's just...
I just find that so random.
His plumbing hands and dexterity, man. I think it's hand in hand.
his plumbing hands make for good COD.
They do. He's always had good dexterity through.
Yes.
Through that, I feel.
Okay, so I feel like it's fair to say then, like, what about Digimon? Did you have a big Digimon phase? Was that... I guess Digimon wasn't really gaming, was it?
No, but Digimon never had
good games. It was all in PS. I never had PS.
Yeah, and they never really had games that like were mainstream.
Yeah, okay. So cause I'm just trying to think of the phases. Like, Pokemon Stadium makes sense because that's just was Pokemon but better graphics.
Yeah, it was just. I just remember summer days just playing that game endlessly. Even the mini games and.
Oh yeah, Rattata Run.
Yeah.
And then Halo 2. And where did you transition after Halo 2? What were you playing? I guess a lot of FIFA.
It was literally just FIFA.
Do you play
FIFA
Fortnite?
and NHL.
Do you play Fortnite with these guys?
Yeah, we played a year or two of it. Fortnite, Overwatch, and then
Yeah, I played some Fortnite.
Oh, who was your Overwatch crew, or did you play it separately from these guys?
No, we all played
maybe
together.
not.
Me, Gabe, Matt, Connor.
Carrie,
No.
Zach.
Connor, Carrie and Zach played a little bit, but not really. Who was the last one? There's 4 of us, and then,
It was like Armand or something.
no, it wasn't Armand. Armand was late. Yeah, but I think it was the 4 of us. We played that game hard.
Overwatch. Yeah, I really wanted to love Marvels, and I did like it a lot. I was just so bad at it.
Dude, people are just insane at that.
Frustratingly bad. I had the one game where I went 38-2, and I had this inflated ego. I'm like, I'm good at this now. Nope.
Yeah, no, yeah, it was just one game.
People are just, there's just too many kids out there with so much time to play 20 hours a day, and they don't have to work and earn anything for a living.
Yeah.
If I ever win the lottery, I'm going to dedicate my life to playing 20 hours a day of Marvel Rivals and becoming amazing.
Marvel Rivals? Don't waste your time with that. Go play a better game. Like, I don't know. Rivals was like the problem with Overwatch. I think there was the reason that we played a lot of it. There's a lot of addicting mechanics in it. Like the scoring system to get up in ranks. It was basically like, if you won, you went up. If you lost, you went down. But if you won a whole bunch of games in a row, they'd start racking up. I think it was called SP. Is that right? SR. So you say you win one game, that's 25 SR. And it was around like 300 to 400 to get to a new rank. So you start like bronze to 400, then like 500 to 800 is silver, blah, blah, blah. So it'd basically be like, if you won one game, you get 25. If you won 2, you get 50. If you won 3, you get 75. But if you won like 7 or 8 in a row, all of a sudden you would be getting like in one game, like 300 SR. So if you somehow could string together like 10 wins in a row, you would shoot up levels. But then the problem is, if you did that, you'd like jump way out of your weight class, and then you just start losing every game, 25, 25, 25. And if you lose 10 in a row, it'd do the same, the opposite. So the game basically was, you were just at net zero. Like, you would sometimes win a lot, and then the next time you'd be tragic. So you just would spend hours and weeks, and then you'd think about it and be like, I moved up like 15 SR.
And the worst part is, you go on a run, and then some motherfucker would drop out.
Yeah.
Within the first round, because you have to go attack and defense, and some person will be
Like
like,
in
no,
Marvels.
yeah, but yeah, you just don't get replaced, and you waste another 25 minutes of your day. Because if you quit, then you got banned for a day.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Banned for 3-4 hours this week, maybe.
Yeah, something like that, which was devastating. Like, if you got banned, you're like, my night's ruined.
My Friday night.
Okay, Gabe, this is a throwback. Do you remember Tibia?
Oh yeah,
Tibia
What's
was
that?
like, what was that? Explain Tibia.
2D MMORPG that still exists.
How do you spell it? Like just tibia?
TIB. Yeah, literally, it's yeah. Every time I tell someone about it, it's like, look the bone. Yeah.
Yeah. But like, it was like pretty complex for the time.
It was
It's the
pretty
graphics don't do the game justice.
No, it was just believing in it, and the mechanics were decent.
Oh, I know this. Maddie would always talk about this.
Yeah,
I introduced Maddie to it.
Yeah.
Back in grade 7. Yeah, grade 7, I played that for like 4 or 5 years, which is crazy, because that game looks like ass when you look it up.
Yeah, and especially now. But back at the time,
And it hasn't changed.
yeah. Back at the time, it
the
wasn't
thing.
too bad though.
But people still play this. It's the craziest thing. I don't understand.
Do you guys ever do that? Like, for example, Dax Hunter, he has all the consoles and he'll go back and play like a PS2.
All of them. All the time.
Can you do that? Like, do you guys? I can't do that.
It grosses me out.
I can do it for certain games. Like there was a couple years ago where I downloaded a Super NES emulator on my computer.
Yeah.
And I played back a bunch of Super Nintendo games.
I will say, bizarrely, Super NES is a bit different. It has a lot of ones that I would play, but overall, I'm not into that. Like, would you play Final Fantasy?
I did.
Oh.
I played last summer. 2 summers
Of
ago.
course you would.
2 summers ago, I replayed Final Fantasy X for like an entire summer.
Which one was that?
It was the first PS2 Final Fantasy.
Was it remastered?
No, it was just Final Fantasy X.
wow,
You could download
okay.
it on your PS5 for like $5 or something.
Damn.
Yeah.
See, I mean, for the most part, I'd say no. Like, one that devastated me is Resident Evil 4. On the GameCube, Resident Evil 4, when it came out, was amazing. It was like, the graphics were like, at the time, the graphics, you were like, I swear to God, this is realistic. Like, I don't know the difference. I was actually terrified playing in my basement. I couldn't play at night because it was so scary. And then I had my GameCube. I was like, oh, I'm going to go like back and play it. And I started. I was like, this sucks. I cannot play this.
They remastered it.
I know. I've heard the
remake.
remastered's good, but I was just like the original of it, like the way Hunter does, where he actually goes back.
Oh, yeah.
I respect it, and obviously to each their own, but for me personally, I just wouldn't enjoy playing something on an N64 controller.
I think I could do it, but it'd have to be mapped to the PS5. I don't know if I could boot up the old console and replay it. I think there might be a couple of games that I would replay, I'd say. Like maybe some older sports games. Like there are some older sports games that I would actually go back to.
There is one game that I actually like going back to for a little bit was Fable.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, because
I love
that game was ahead of
Fables.
its time. The graphics wise, I feel it still almost holds up.
Kingdom Come
Kingdom
Deliverance
Come
2.
Deliverance 2.
That's Fable, man.
Do you want to do a little plug for Kingdom Come?
Yeah, okay, well, basically, you play as a squire, I guess that would be the best word to describe him, of a lord in old-time Bohemia, which is the region of Germany, Hungary, that area.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Right? And it's essentially, the game is a medieval simulator. There's actually a storyline that's happening. A pretty awesome one, actually. It's really well written. But you can get dirty. You get hungry. You have to sleep. If you're dirty and you talk to people treat you differently. Like if you have blood all over yourself, people get like freaked out. Your armor breaks if you don't take care of it. If you starve, it takes points off. If you get drunk, it affects the next day of play.
What? How so? Like your
So
stamps?
I got hammered one day just for fun.
Yeah.
The next day, because you get hungover, your stamina's lower, your charisma's low.
Whoa.
Your dexterity is slower. It's nuts. Like it's just like the weight of your armor makes a difference. Like if you have all the chainmail, you can hear the sound.
Okay, so when you say, like you show up dirty or bloody, so let's say you show up covered in blood, does every single NPC act identically the same, or some like, oh, what's wrong with you? And others are like, hey, or is it like is it generically, if you're covered in 75% blood, everyone acts the same, or is it very person to person?
No, it's like person to person. And
Cool.
not everybody will be scared. Some people will be like, will comment on it, or then some people that you have to talk to you'll talk to you and they'll refuse to talk to you.
Yeah, okay,
They'll comment on your appearance.
Because like some games, I'm thinking of Assassins. You walk into a crowd, and if you do something, everyone goes like, ah, and like all like scatters the same, or they all act like the exact.
Yeah, no, it's not like
cool,
that.
cool.
That's like that. Like for example, one of the first times, I think in the first 2 hours of the game, I didn't have any money, and I didn't realize you had to eat, so I was almost low and starving, but I didn't have money, so I waited till like super late at night. And I broke into this person's house while they were sleeping and stabbed them to death and stole all their money to go buy food. And
Makes sense.
I'm walking around, and then the guard stops me, and he like stops me and he's like, hey, and I'm like, what the heck? Like he wasn't in, like what a stupid game. Like didn't account for that he didn't see me do the crime. Like why, how can he do that? And then I realized as I talked to him, my guy's like covered in blood. So I gave myself away that like I committed a crime.
Yeah.
So like something like that.
Okay, cool. That's super cool. That's badass.
Did you guys
Kingdom
hear
Come
about-
Deliverance 2, check it out.
What is Deliverance 2?
Yeah, Deliverance 2.
I'll have to check out the trailer.
Matt will co-sign it. Matt
plays?
Epic. Matt Epic will
Nice.
co-sign it.
Nice. I was going to ask, did you guys see the videos where they've integrated AI with Elder Scrolls?
And
so?
they changed different, they upgraded it?
They integrated the computer storyline with AI, so essentially the computer characters, when you talk to them, you can actually say, like have real conversations with
Weird.
them. Yeah.
Okay, this is getting too weird. There's AIs in the AI, computer AI.
Weird.
But that is one thing that I think is going to be crazy, is there's going to come a point where we're going to play video games where every character is going to have a little AI, and it's not going to be like a profoundly super smart, like top of the line AI, but it's going to have like some form of AI you'll noticeably be like, gaming's took a big step up because of how the NPCs perform.
Yeah, or it's gonna be some assistants be like, "Hey, so you got your ass kicked yesterday. Hey, you gonna do any better today?"
That's trippy. Okay, do you think people owe you if you let them cross the street?
No.
Okay, so like your face is.
But I mean,
okay, so
yes.
like, do you ever have someone like they're like cross the street and they're going across and they kind of just walk out and they don't like look, they just see the sign and go, and you waited for them to go, and in your head you're like, you owe me one. You guys ever?
You'll
have
be
that?
a wave,
No, that's just me.
a queen wave.
Like,
Wait, if you're driving?
Yeah, like I'm driving, and I had this dude, and he just walked in the middle of the crosswalk. Now, granted, it was a walk. Like, it was
a crosswalk.
Yeah, and it's his right of way. But like when he did it, in my head, I was like, yeah, like it's on me. I could hit you, and
Is that white privilege?
Gabe just secretly goes, "Oh, if I could ruin your life if I wanted to."
all right, so just me. Okay, let's see here. I have a few more. So I had a McDonald's employee, right? And this is the one
What do
down.
you mean you had? They're not
Just-
possessions.
Sorry, no, they are. No, it was this girl. I don't know her age. I want to say she's like 27 or 28, and she worked at McDonald's.
Probably 18.
No, she wasn't 18. She was younger. No. she worked. She was from India. She'd moved here and she worked at the McDonald's at the bottom of the hill, and she was becoming some form of CPR first responder thing.
Okay, cool.
Right. And so I always just chatted with her in the morning when I'd get my coffee. Well, I'd say more, she'd just come up and start talking to me, and I'd be like, okay. So anyhow, I found out that she was leaving as soon as she got her CPR. But I was like, do the people here know? Because she told me like 2 months before, and she's like, no, I'm just leaving. I was like, oh, okay. And anyhow, so I go into the McDonald's to get my coffee, and I notice, like, oh, she's gone. I was like, oh, what happened to this one girl? Is she still here? And they're like, all so pissed. They're like, she just out of nowhere left and blah, blah, blah. Like, I can't believe she just did that. And she was like the what's it called? Not the manager, the assistant manager. And like,
Why did she leave?
because she was becoming a CPR first responder or something.
Oh, first responder. Okay.
She wasn't a paramedic, but it was some first responder thing.
Yeah.
And like, they were so furious about it. And then I thought to myself, like, should I have told them, like, I knew she was leaving? Cause I knew for like a while. And then they just out of nowhere had this
Why?
ball.
They just hate you.
I was just thinking that. I was like, should I have been like, I knew this was happening? Just to like,
Okay.
I could have told you.
I just could never do that. Like, no ounce of me could
know.
ever, as much as I would
Okay.
hate a job, I could never leave it.
like just out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree.
But what if that job took everything from you, and the manager was just an absolute?
But then you're stooping down to that level. Like, if the worst someone can say is shit on me, that, I don't know, they're gonna say whatever they're gonna say anyway. But if they're like, yeah, he quit and he gave 2 weeks notice, it's like, okay, well, what did he do improperly?
I totally agree. I totally agree. Like, especially like, I don't know, I guess there's extreme circumstances. Sure. Like, Gabe, I'm sure you could think of something and be like, well, what if like, they embezzled money from you? Okay, sure. Like there is,
like,
but
short of,
but in a normal situation, from what I perceived of this, she just didn't want to work there anymore, went and was getting a new job and just left.
She
Which
threw
I know.
away-
Normal situation like that, yeah. No
Yeah.
And she threw away a significant resume and a significant
As an
reference.
assistant manager
as an
at
so
McDonald's?
as assistant
That's
manager,
huge.
you probably were there for a couple of years.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
like,
you threw that away for what? To be petty because you thought you were better than being a McDonald's employee?
I
For
always,
2 week notice instead, yeah.
yeah, and I don't know. I just think it's like it reflects a lot on just your class, like because you have to hold yourself to a standard. If your standard is, well, the people around me aren't doing this, so I'm not going to, you're kind of the same thing.
You know,
That's
I've
just
never
how it works.
exited a place of employment with less than a month notice. It's 2 weeks. The standard's 2 weeks. But I've never left a place where I'm like, hey, here's my 2 weeks. I'm gone.
I don't think I have either.
I've actually, in my head, I've always set up the company that I'm leaving for when I leave.
So then, yeah,
So
that's crazy. That's
I actually
really
did
good.
that for my Wedgwood hotel, and I felt like in my role as a manager there, I was so entrenched with having to run everything because I literally had to run all the data systems for the hotel. I asked for 4 months.
Yeah.
And I actually like had someone shadowing me for 4 months, and by like 2 months in, I was like, "Yeah, this is too much.
Too much.
We were both just bored as fuck, but it was. Yeah. You know what? I got 2 easy months.
Hey,
And
fair
it was
enough.
hilarious. They believed me enough, so
Yeah.
thank you, Wedgwood Hotel.
Yeah, I don't know. I find work an interesting thing. Like, I was raised to work. Like, my family it was just kind of what you did is like you went and got a job. That's what you're supposed to do. Whereas some people, it seems like it's like almost like they're ingrained to not try and have a job.
Okay. I feel so differently about this because the inner being in me does not want to work.
Right.
I don't know how to explain this because I'm a really hard worker. I think I consider myself a pretty hard worker.
I just say so.
I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I do try very hard when I work. Mm-hmm. But I am so content not working. I could, you know how people go like, oh, I'm going to retire. Don't know what I would do. I'm like, oh, I do. I'd do my David Goggins stuff, but I'd have the whole day to recover.
Yeah.
I would now be able to play video games and not feel guilty. I could go out and see people with all the time that I have. I wouldn't be like sitting on by myself going like, oh, there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
That could be good.
I agree. I don't know. I wonder if it's maybe as you get older, but I do find it's a weird thing. Like, I have so many hobbies, and that's with things that I've had to cut out because I don't have enough time to do other things. Whereas it seems like some people, you genuinely are like, if you're like, you don't have to work anymore, and you have unlimited money, they'd be like, what do I do?
I would try so many things.
Right?
So my friend, so Mel has a friend who's like that. He does kind of like investment for companies, some Asian company that's based here. He's 38. He's retired and come back because he was bored.
Crazy.
And I'm like,
That's
okay.
so ballin'. Retired at 38.
36 and come back. What?
Maybe I'll do that. I'm going to retire and then come back, and everybody be like, he's so rich he came back, and be like, something like that. Something like that.
Is that insane?
That's crazy.
I wouldn't know.
There's a term, early retirement.
I got retired so easily.
It's a popular term there.
Easily.
I have so many things I want
I
to
have
do.
so many things I want to do. Like, even just going to Hawaii alone, I could do that for like 6 months. Easily do that for 6 months. Easy. And you think there's nothing to do? I'm like, what are you all
Straight
about?
up, if America tomorrow gave free healthcare to all its citizens, I'd just move to Hawaii right away. I'd be like, we'll sort it out. We have free healthcare. We'll be fine.
It's called FIRE. Financial Independence, Retire Early.
Damn,
Gosh,
that is fire.
There's literally groups out there in the city, like around the world that kind of like meet to kind of strive to get there, and those that are already there that kind of congregate to kind of like find mutual interests because they're retired in the 30s and 40s.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But the thing that's crazy about now versus...
There was a guy at your wedding, your engagement party who was retired already. It
was Mark.
He had opened a few restaurants or something, sold them or something.
Oh.
Remember the guy that wanted to run your bachelor party?
Yeah.
that Mark?
Yeah. No. Mark Saul. Oh, yeah, Mark Saul.
yeah.
Yeah.
That guy was crazy.
Yeah.
I just talked to him for a few minutes. He's like, "Yeah, I'm retired. I just opened and sold a few restaurants." Like,
that guy is
He's sweet.
that
Dude.
guy's a good time.
But I feel like the world we live in now is more possible, especially if you're in tech. It's so possible for you to do one thing in tech and sell it for like 50 million. Obviously it's not easy, but like that's a thing that happens. Whereas it used to be way more like you had to like start a big business to like I don't know. It's just the game was different. It's just more accessible to do that, I feel.
Yeah.
Okay, so have you heard... First off, did you guys hear about Microsoft's new chip and how they've discovered a new state of matter, but it's like in the quantum state?
No, I have not heard of this.
Oh, dude, yeah. So there's like... Microsoft has a new chip. I'm trying to remember the name of the chip. It's like... It ends with an A. It's like a feminine-sounding chip, but it's like... Majorana, yeah. And it's basically... So basically that chip there... has like, there's something crazy about it with quantum computing, but they also have discovered a state of matter. So there's liquid, solid, gas, and then this fourth state, which is in the quantum state. And the problem is I can't perceive it. Like that in my reality, that doesn't exist. So when you're trying to explain a gas, a solid, and a liquid, those make sense to me. But then if you say there's a fourth, I don't understand what that means. Yeah. Isn't it crazy?
It's called a topological state. So a topoconductor or a topological superconductor is a special category of material that can create an entirely new state of matter. Not a solid, liquid, or gas, but a topological state. This is harnessed to produce a more stable qubit that is fast, small, and can be digitally controlled without trade-offs required by current alternatives. I'm not smart enough to understand what that sentence said.
Do you guys know what a qubit is?
I think I'm just going to take a wild stab. Polygon for Pokemon.
4D. Do you know what a qubit is?
No, what is it?
A qubit is basically, you know how our computers run off of zeros and ones?
Yeah.
A qubit is a quantum computing, and each little thing isn't a zero or a one. It's a zero and a one simultaneously. And that's why it's able to, that's like the big thing with quantum computing is you don't have a zero or one, you have both.
So what is the impact of this chip? Like what is...
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I'll say, like, I was monitoring quantum stocks for the last little bit, like since October, and it went on a crazy run because there was one company, QBTS, Quantum Wave or something. They said they made a breakthrough in their quantum computing, essentially doing some math equation that would take a regular computer a million years to do.
Yeah, I think it's just the best. It's one of those things of scale. It's like it can do X 50 billion times faster than whatever. Like it's just one of those things where it's just like faster, better, something like that.
Dude, we're barreling towards like this AI. We're barreling towards Cyberpunk, man. Oh my goodness,
Cyberpunk,
dude.
yeah, dude. Okay, now listen to this. Here, it gets trippier. Just to go further from what I just told you. So we've discovered the state of matter. You're gonna want to look this one up. They've just frozen light. Yeah, I don't even understand really what that means. Like, what does frozen light look like? It's like, I felt like this for a long time. I don't think the science that we know is right, but I don't think it's wrong. It's not like I'm like, yo.
What the heck? Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Like, what does it even say? What does it even mean? Does it show a picture?
Yeah.
What does it look like? Like, what the fuck? I don't know. Everyone just go, if you're still here.
Started from that.
If you're still here, go look up frozen light. And basically, there's so many things. Like, first off, I thought I thought that was impossible to freeze light. Like, isn't light supposed to be instantaneous?
Oh my god, I'm so confused. What the heck is going on?
Okay, so this is what I think. I think it's not that everything we know is wrong, but it's not 100% true. It's just what we deem to be true. And what I'll say to that is the earth was flat until it was round. So it's like, it made sense that the earth was flat until we discovered it was round. So it's kind of like that with everything. It doesn't mean that necessarily everything we know is wrong, but it could be, and it just could be until we get the different perspective we can't see. So right there, first off, if you can freeze light, that means something. I don't know what it means, but it just means our theories on what light was must be off.
Oh my goodness.
Right?
Dude, people are so smart. So
yeah. Right?
Between this and the quantum chip, I'm sitting there going wow. I am such a dumbass.
Yeah, man. I can't even grate cheese, so I buy it pre-grated.
There's people out there that are so smart.
Okay, you know what's crazy though? As TA now, going back to it,
they have a robotics team.
What?
And they were 3D printing robotic arms and teaching them how to use them. They had our battle bots in the gym.
What the heck where was this when we went to STA?
They were like, go outside and jump in the ditch in the back.
They were like, don't get hurt in the back over there. Like, go at lunchtime, go hang out with Lincoln and smoke weed on the res. These are our offerings for you.
Did you like A, B, C, or all of them?
Remember the Fight Club that like Matt Cleo
Yeah,
started?
dude, the underground. Dude, what's his name? Matt Iacno was in it, or no, Andrew Buber.
Yeah.
Andrew Buber beat the shit out of
Did you get
everyone.
expelled? You got expelled, right?
I don't know.
But yeah.
Okay, well, there's one more step deeper than this, than what I've just told you guys, okay? Now, this is, those two things are, I don't know. I think the matter one, I'm skeptical. I'm obviously stupid and these people know more than me, but I'm like, it's just, my brain can't perceive having a fourth state of matter, because that was basically like the grounds for everything we knew was there's only 3 states of matter. And then light, I didn't even think it was possible. Like, whoever was weird enough to think, let's freeze light. Like, that's a weird thought even. Okay. Now this suspend your disbelief. Do you guys know what the #1 podcast that's been circulating the internet is for like the last month and a half? Have you guys heard of it?
It's not Joe Rogan.
It's not Joe. No, it's not like, it's not like any of those. It's not like, a Joe Rogan or a Andrew Schultz or something. It's
AI podcast.
the telepathy tapes. Have you guys heard these?
No.
Highly recommend listening to them. I'm on the 3rd one. So the telepathy tapes are about nonverbal autistic children.
Okay.
Okay. And what happened is they have telepathy with their parents. And this has been a known thing for a long time amongst the parents of these children. But the problem with it is the parents didn't want to be like ostracized because they have these kids. Like, the thing with nonverbal autism is they're the ones you think of that they're like do these crazy things. They can't talk. They act so out of the normal. So what it is they can't control their body, but mentally they're 100% there. And these parents swear to God, they'd all be like, yo, my kid has telepathy with me. Like, I can understand and hear my kid. And they were like, and they did, but they didn't want to say anything again. Your kid has like a severe, air quotes, disability. So you're going to try and like strive to make your kid special. So they just kind of kept to themselves. But then teachers of these nonverbal autistic kids started also being like, yeah, no, I think your kid's speaking to me with telepathy. And then this is the crazy thing. They started giving them ways to write, whether it be an iPad or something, or they just point at letters and spell out. And consistently, all of these kids that they're talking to start being like, yo, I'm in here and I can hear your thoughts. And then like, I'm telepathic with you. And they start confirming everything they're saying. And so they start doing all these tests on these kids, and they start doing things like you got to watch or listen to the telepathy tapes.
I'm a little bit more dubious.
Yeah, no, there's things like what they've been doing is like, they'll have them like the kids in a room alone. And the science doesn't believe in telepathy because they all say that by them pointing at the thing, they're nonverbal. They can't trust that. There's some reason. Just, you'll have to listen to the tapes. She does a really good job of like, they do all these like blind test
Is she a
studies.
scientist or is she a Graham Hancock scientist?
No, I think she's a professor. But like, so, okay, things that they start doing.
Because I'm a skeptic, you know.
Yeah,
that,
I know you're a skeptic.
Yeah.
I
want to believe,
but I've told you I believed in started believing telepathy once Neve had Juliet, and I could see the two of them like going back and forth. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like parents have that with their kids, but that doesn't mean they're all telepathic. Telepathic.
No. But it proves that there is this connection that can be made.
But
right?
I get that. But it's
Right.
being the same thing as like when I'm on the same wavelength as someone, right? But don't you think there'd be like plenty of evidence by now if there were like telepathy that exists in the world? And wouldn't this be something that people would want to like harness?
Okay. So first off, I'll say to the Neve and the baby it's more than just being on the same wavelength. This was too, like, there's too much coincidence between, like, how Neve would go and act and the baby and her, like, reacting to each other when they weren't together for me to feel like it was just a coincidence. So anyhow, here's the things I'm gonna tell you about it. Cause you're right. Like you'd think there'd be more, but what these kids have kind of said. So there's a place called the Hill. Okay. Now this is where it gets really trippy. So all these kids with, like these nonverbal telepathic kids, air quotes, they all have like these crazy abilities and they like know of people at this place called the Hill. And apparently the Hill is where they all go to chat. And it's like, it's a place in consciousness. It's not a place where you can go like you like picturing a hill. It's like where consciousness is. And these 4 girls that were all best friends and they were like talking about again through these like boards about like their friends. Oh, my friends, I meet them at the Hill. And they're like, who are they? There's these people. So then the mom went on a Facebook group for nonverbal autistic kids, found these girls, messaged their parents and was like, hey, does your kids have a friend named my daughter? And their parents were like, yeah, how do you know? At the Hill? And they found out that this is like supposedly a real place where all these nonverbal kids go and talk and they like trade stories and teach each other different languages and know all this stuff.
But they're nonverbal.
So it's all like through writing. And then things like they claim these teachers claims like I have to tell the kid to stay out of my head because I can hear when he's in there talking and looking at my thoughts and stuff. And I don't know. I'm not doing it justice. You have to go listen to it and tell me what you think. But it's basically right now the #1 podcast for the last month and a half because everyone, and they're coming out with a doc of it because everyone's confused because like it doesn't make any sense.
I will listen to it and I'll keep an open mind. And it's the same thing. I'm going to liken this to soccer.
Yeah.
It's the same thing when you say, oh, I'll believe it once they're in our jersey.
Yeah.
I'll believe it once everything is peer reviewed and like
that's fair. That's fair.
I want like the tangible.
Yeah.
Like, I want to believe all this stuff is real because then it opens the world up to this just amazing wonder that I've always wanted to be real.
Superhuman abilities.
Yeah. But I am a skeptic in the sense that I need to see it for me, but if I see it and it's proven, I'm all in.
Yeah,
you know, like you just need to make me a believer, you know?
I think this is a huge issue that we run into now is to be a believer in science. It's hard because science, like what science and some of this stuff I feel like are the opposites. But I get what you're saying. Like, I agree with you. I especially like you guys know me with UFOs. I like love that the most, but I'm at the same point with them where I'm like, until I see some like hard stuff, I'm not there. But I feel like this one, I don't know if the science is going to be able to like accept it, to be honest. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens with it.
But there's also another branch of less so the science of like numbers and computing and data, of like observational science. Like, let's just say, let's get this in a study where everybody does it and it's replicated over and over again. That's how you prove something.
Right.
A hypothesis is a hypothesis until it's tested over and the results are the same over and over and over and over.
So what was that called?
That
when you do it that way,
there's a word for this.
You just said it though. I'm trying to remember what you just said.
I said hypothesis.
No, like when you speak it out as opposed to the numbers.
Did I say it?
Yeah. Fuck, what's it called? It's like, cause I was saying it's like, you were saying it's not the like numbers as much. It's a different type of like, anyhow, you gotta listen to it because they do a lot of testing, like things like, for example.
One person though.
No.
No.
There's a group of them that are doing
it.
Like she's trying to prove it. And like the things that are crazy is things like, there's this one kid in the second episode that he can see through his mom's eyes. So whenever he's doing something that's like a test, so they'll be like this, okay, we're going to do like just random numbers and letters on a board. Mm-hmm. And if the mom's looking at it, he 100% of the time can just tell you exactly the numbers and letters. in from a different room. Like he's in a different room, mom's looking at this stuff. They take the mom out of the room and instantly he doesn't know and just gets them all wrong.
I'm not saying that it's not real.
Yeah.
I just want to see this.
Yeah.
Like in the larger, not just this lady and her group.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like maybe the Harvard scientists come in, maybe like X scientists come in.
Well, it'll be interesting because it's got blown up. So
Yeah.
there's a chance that they're gonna, like, I'd assume it would. It's okay.
Conspiracy theory.
I love it.
Reading their ability to read thoughts makes for one of the best interrogation techniques. If you have that, you keep that secret at all costs.
I mean, I feel like, do you know what remote viewing is? Remote viewing kind of leads into the same thing. Remote viewing is a weird thing. I'm not going to get into now because it's too tense, but remote viewing basically is what Stranger Things was about. Like, you know how, like, there was, like, 11, like, they took these, like, supposedly, like, psionic people that had these, like, abilities and they used them to, like, do that. Remote viewing's like that, basically, but it's, like, they can, like, identify locations. It's not, like, literally, obviously, Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Anyhow, that's the end of my topics of the day. We were all over the place there.
All right. Well, before we go and before we let everyone and Gabe go home, Gabe is a pretty big Arsenal fan. Let's get an overview of the season so far, Gabe, right from the fan of an Arsenal, a mouth of an Arsenal fan.
I mean, a lot of injuries. I mean, we haven't had a full squad all season, but it's been an interesting ride because it's allowed us to have two 17, now 18-year-olds come out of nowhere. Well, come out of the academy. And
Which kids?
Nwaneri and Miles Lewis Skelly.
Which one's better of the two?
They're both good in their own right.
Nice.
Left back and a right wing, right mid. I mean, they're just confident players playing well beyond their ages, and makes me hopeful because they'll be good backups next year when our team is hopefully healthy and competing against you mofos.
Because Saka's hurt, right? Saka's hurt.
Saka's training again.
Okay, Havertz is hurt.
Havertz is hurt. Jesus is hurt. California just got hurt today.
Oh, no.
Timber just came off from ACL last year, missing all season.
He's supposed to be really good, right?
Timber's insane.
He got hurt. Didn't he get hurt like the first game?
First game he tore his ACL.
He was so good in preseason too, I think.
He's an ultimate shithouser. I really like him because it's just the confidence that you need when you're playing against people in the Prem. You just need that. You just need that over intensity over.
Because what are you guys, 12 points back, right?
I think it's 15, but no, 12.
Is it actually 15?
12?
Yeah.
I stopped count. I conceded this year.
So Gabe, what do you think of Arteta?
There's a lot of people wavering on him, but I think he's a good coach. He sometimes gets stagnant with his ways, but for the most part, he's adaptive. I mean, he moved Marino to the striker position. He's got 6 goals in 9 appearances as a center defensive mid.
That's
super
actually
impressive,
crazy.
Yeah.
So he's his ability to reprogram someone mid-season that's never played striker is insane, and he just scored for Spain as a striker.
Oh, no
What?
way. Wow.
So it's
Personally, I think it
That
would
guy
be,
probably made so much more money. Thank you.
Bless you. I personally would not ever, like, maybe one day get rid of Arteta, but I believe in keeping a good manager. Like, if this is a bad season for him after the disappointment of almost winning the EPL, I'd take that every time.
for sure. You don't know what. There's no other coach that can guarantee you. There's no one that can guarantee you that. Not even Ancelotti, I think, could guarantee you that.
No. Like, there's, like, what? Okay, you'd maybe take Pep or
Slot.
Even then, it's a risk.
I wouldn't. Yeah, like
Because he has a great.
like that
team
was
to
the
start
same
with.
thing with like Klopp. Like when he left, the whole reason that it's so crazy what Slot's done is because that just doesn't happen. Like usually, I don't know. I'm a big believer in the problem is if you have a like Chelsea where you have this revolving door manager thing, then the players gain too much power and control and they can dictate like way too much. Whereas if you have a coach that's obviously they're good, but they stay as like, for example, Arsene Wenger, Sir Alex Ferguson, not Jose Mourinho, he was a bit different case. Then like Klopp was, Guardiola at all the teams he's been at where he's had like an extended run. Your manager has more power than the players. But as soon as the manager, could be gone every 2 years, a star player can be like, I'm not playing. And then it like throws everything out of whack.
Yeah, for sure. It's overall not a bad season.
Who's your favorite player?
Not Mo Salah.
That's how good Mo Salah is. Other teams just name
It's just in my head.
It's
Not Mo Salah.
Is it? Let me
No,
try
I
to
do
guess.
appreciate Mo
Is
Salah.
it Gabriel?
Who I like? Odegaard.
Odegaard?
Oh, that's fair.
I think my favorite Arsenal player is Saliba.
Yeah, he's a beast.
He's a beast,
He's
dude.
a beast.
He reminds me of so much of Verge. There's so many things that he does that Verge does.
Yeah, I read a report that he's going, or Real Madrid really wants him.
Of course.
Yeah.
French center back in Madrid.
dude,
Name a better duo.
Dude, that would be like if we lost Van Dijk, the next biggest transfer would be the Saliba going to Madrid.
Because a lot of people, whenever I type in best center backs in the world, it's either one or two. It's Saliba or Verge. It's always like interchangeable.
To be honest with
Verge
you,
is still good for the next few. Like he will be the best for the next few years because he's accomplished and his composure. Saliba's not there yet. This year actually was his worst in his 2.5 years with us.
wow.
Last year he was perfect. This year he's been more. He is definitely some improvement after this year.
What's your favorite position to watch play? Just the position, doesn't have to be like the player or anything. Or what do you like?
Raya's made me like the goalkeeper position.
Really?
Because he's like an Ederson or Allison. He's South American. Oh, sorry, he's Spanish. Sorry, but he has a South American flair. Just the 12th, the 11th man, kind of playing tactically. It's been pretty fun to watch.
I don't know if it's because our team hasn't had like the most world-class strikers, but striker for me is not a fun position to watch. Like, unless I watch Real Madrid and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird position in the modern game. Like it used to literally, if you look back like 2000s, the striker would be like a good striker would get like 20 goals and no one else would even come close. And then if you watch, like it was so like apparent that everything was just the striker, like that's how you scored. But the game's just evolved so much. Like wingers, since Ronaldo and Messi, the wingers have really truly just started outscoring center forwards across the board, I feel like.
There was one infamous year on Arsenal, I think it was like 16, 17, when Özil was on his way to smash the assist record. And he had like 15 or 16 in January.
Yeah.
And he was like maybe 5 or 6 short. Something like that. This is very loose numbers. And Giroud, and we were on the way to win the title. 4 months, Giroud scored 1 or 2 goals. He pulled the units. And Özil was on a record breaking and just couldn't score. And we just eventually flopped, which in the DNA.
I don't know. It's really weird striker as a position.
Mentality and everything. I think where you are in the media and like England you're on the hot seat a lot.
Well, okay. Like when you think of the best players in the world, strikers always got brought up, right? Like the true striker, we're talking like center forwards, not like attacking players. Cause now like the front, like Mo Salah is like not a striker, but he's really like an attack, like way up there winger and all that stuff. Like Haaland, I don't think Haaland's even close to the best in the world. He's either 1 or 2 in the world in terms of scoring goals. And therefore he like gets put really high up, but like technical ability and all the other stuff he does in the game, strikers very rare. Like look at Nunez. He's even one where it's like if Nunez were to be good for us, it'd be because he was scoring the goals. You wouldn't be like, wow, look at his footwork or look at all those like his intricate passing and stuff. It's just scoring the goals. And so I always think it's funny, like you need those guys. And I've played like before with guys, you'll look at them and you're like, this guy isn't that good. And you just everything about him. But then in the game, by the end of the season, you're like, oh, he basically went goal per game. And it's like, Okay. Some
Yeah,
people
but
just do that.
I
So-
actually would counterpoint that.
Yeah.
It's funny because I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Isn't that the whole point? Like, they don't have to be the best in the world, but the name of the game is scoring goals, and scoring goals is a premium. So, if you have a striker that can put in goals, even if he's not the best player on your team, it makes everybody else so much better because they can do stuff and it takes the pressure. Like, imagine if Nunes had just put the ball in one or two times. How much better does Gakpo, Diaz, Salah,
yeah.
everyone look better just because he taps the ball in?
Well, yeah, okay, yeah, like you're right, like that's a fair point, but I'm stating more like overall technical ability, like the strikers in general, like I think if you were just to go to the streets and play, you'd probably find a lot more players that are midfielders that you're like, yo, this dude's so freaking good versus the striker, like in terms of eye test standout.
Well, I agree
Yeah,
with you.
yeah,
I agree
yeah.
with you. I just think more in the sense of like how valuable.
But
striker is.
they're very valuable. And that's why, like, if you have a good one, it's the craziest thing.
As a homer, Henry is like that street footballer, but he's still a striker. If you watch his replays, it's just the way he dances. It's just insane. Like, not many strikers are like that.
Yeah.
It's actually watching Nunes this season actually made me appreciate Haaland more because I was fully on the train of Mbappe's way better than Haaland, and I still do think Mbappe's way better than Haaland. But watching Nunes this season, I'm like, oh, Haaland is really good. He's just really good at putting the ball in the back of the net.
He just
Yeah.
needs one touch.
Yeah, yeah.
Or even the ones I think are always the craziest ones is two touch. Like, you just see them, they go like this, like everything's happening, and then all of a sudden it just goes to their foot, the one touch, and then boom, they shoot it, and it's kind of like, you're just like, oh shit, I don't know. Like Nunes, I first off, I always support Liverpool players. Like, there's a few that I can't get behind and they piss me off, but overall I try to be a supportive fan. And Nunes, I just feel so sad for because he does all the right things in terms of effort, but he just isn't up to the speed, I don't think.
It's so weird because I've watched him enough now where when he looks good, he looks so good. You're like, oh, cool, like it's in there. But then you'll watch him do something with the ball, and the best way to describe it is there's like something missing. Like there's just something missing to his game, and I can't quite pinpoint it because it's not his positioning, because he always finds himself like in the right position.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
he clearly has good instincts. It's just there's something missing that doesn't allow him to put the ball in the back of the net.
Sometimes players need a specific type of ball to play.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think for him, if you looked when we bought him from Porto or Benfica, was it? Yeah, I think it was Porto. Benfica. Whoever we bought him from, we played them in the Champions League.
Was it Sporting?
It was Benfica. I'm pretty confident it was Benfica. Let me think here. Benfica.
I said Benfica.
It wasn't Sporting. It was Benfica. Anyhow, in the Champions League, he scored 2 goals against us, and we were like beasting that year. One in each side, and it was him versus like on the counterattack sprinting against everyone, really hard play. It was Benfica.
Yeah.
But I think it's one thing to be a guy that can come up against a really, really top talent team. Like, remember, Liverpool's top of the world, or one of the tops, right? So to come up against that team and score some counterattack goals and look really good, it's one thing. You're obviously skilled, but to be the guy that's leading the charge at the top teams, that's a different level. It's just a different level, just because and I think if you watch a lot of Nunes things, that's kind of where it is. It's like these things where he can kind of like counterattack or be like against the odds, as opposed to when he has to be the dominant force. Clearly he can't like at the toppest level do it.
That sucks.
Yeah, it does.
I also think, again, the factor that we also have to consider is the amount of media attention and the amount of social media attention these days.
Yeah.
Like, if you have family or friends anywhere and you're not doing good or bad, you get harassed, and it somehow gets its way to you. And whether your cousin or something gets harassed or something, and then
It's true.
and then it gets to you, right? It's crazy the ability of the connectivity you can have on a person across the world. especially in the football world, which you hear so much abuse of stars in England especially.
Yeah, that is very true, Gabe. Especially South Americans, they're notorious. Like even Mo Salah, I don't know if you've noticed this, Dax. Like the media isn't very kind to Mo Salah. I wouldn't say they're bad to him, but like for the star he is, they don't give him as much respect as he deserves. And he's getting it now at the very end, but you should have seen, like, for example, last year, they were talking about Saka. No disrespect to Saka, but they were like, he surpassed Mo Salah. And Saka hasn't had one season where he's outdone Mo Salah's numbers. And you're like, wait a minute here. Like, come on. And now again, I'm not shitting on Saka. I think he'll be, as time goes on, he's going to become better and better. It's just, it's like
But
this.
he's not established.
Yeah, to compare him to Mo Salah after like a decade of dominating and be like, oh, you're like, come on.
How long
guys.
has Mo been in Liverpool for?
7, 8 years.
Okay.
He's 7 or 8 years. Yeah. He's been a beast. Anyhow, I think we should wrap this up now. It's been a good cast.
Thank you for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
Gabe.
it was fun.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, come back
Glad to
again.
have you. Yeah, please.
Absolutely.
You got anything you want to say?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were plugging for Gabe.
No. Gabe, do you want to plug anything?
Oh, check out Two Guys at a Podcast, or Two Guys and the Movies, coming soon. Me and my buddy talk about movies that we like and watch. So we're going to be doing that very soon.
I've got an insider listen, and I can say it's very good. I look forward to it myself.
Hopefully next time I'm on this podcast, have some medals for the old high school.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go,
Take care,
Seats.
everybody.